Imagine picking up your guitar and instantly knowing the one thing to work on that actually moves your playing forward. No more bouncing around tutorials, no more wondering if you're wasting time. In this video, I'll show you how to focus like the best players do, so every minute of practice makes you better. So, how to focus on guitar? First of all, we got to define the problem. The problem, having talked with many guitarists over the years, online and offline, is that a lot of players don't know what they need to be focusing on. And not only that, that if they do define what they want to work on guitar, meaning that you suddenly say to yourself, I've realized it's my strumming. It's unsteady. I can't play with the metronome. When it goes fast, it all falls apart. And when I try to sing and play, it's all over the place. You know, if you define a problem area, the second thing is how to actually focus yourself to stick to it and see results. So, first one is the area. And there are 6 key areas on guitar. And by the way, I have an assessment that will analyze your playing across all those 6 areas, give you a customized report, and it's based on 23 years of teaching. And I've lost count of how many beginners I've taught over the years. It's well over 1,000. I know that much. So you'll find that below after this video. But let's talk about them here first. So the 6 key areas, you have chord and fretting, which is basically your fretboard hand. You'll have your strumming and timing. You have finger picking and technique. You have mindset and confidence. You have song repertoire and practice routine. And then you also have bar chords and other areas. So getting into it, they're the 6 main areas. And do you ever see that FIFA thing? Do you know that little graph? You'd see it in games where you have like 6 areas. I'll do this here. Excuse my graphing. I'm not a mathematical quiz. But if these are rated, if this was 10, these are all 10s, and the outside was 0, or the inside was 0, you get rated. So if I was 7 out of 10, I'd be here. 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 would say 9. You get the idea. So if you're rated and then you connect all these up, it gives you a very clear idea on how good your playing is across all the main playing areas. And ideally, we want it to be healthy. Ideally, we want it to be out here, 10 out of 10. More, like as much as we can. Like not aiming for perfection, but aiming for it at the same time because we get better. So you have the area, and that's the 6 key. And you can find the assessment underneath after this video. The next thing is, once you've identified the area to focus on, and by the way, here's how, as well as taking the assessment, I'll share with you how you can know without an assessment. The assessment just makes it easier and faster. It saves you trying to wonder and knowing what to prioritize. But the basic thing about it is, what can't you do right now on guitar? What's something you would love to do, but you know in your heart that you don't have the skills to do? That will let you know an area of focus, because that's your desire. That's what you want to do. The other thing is, what's an absolute pain in the BOTTY when it comes to guitar? Like, what is something that's like, oh man, I hope this song doesn't have it. That's an area to focus on. Because to be a fully free guitarist, you actually want to not have that fear of like finding a song and hoping that it doesn't contain this chord, hoping that it doesn't contain this drum pattern. Yeah, I want to break it right on down. Right? So those are areas. So whatever's painful for you or whatever is a desire for you, they point to areas that you would want to focus on guitar. So let's say you've identified them. You've done maybe an assessment below. And then you get the practice. Nothing happens unless you practice and do it, right? The doing. And I don't mean, what's the word? I don't mean start looking up YouTube videos on that topic and watching tons. Watch one and put it into practice. There's a really famous study of, it was a pottery class or a photography class. Maybe it was both. It's online, you'll find this study. But the short moral of the story was there was 2 groups, and over a period of a couple of weeks, one group was educated on the whole ins and outs of the whole thing, like how to take great photos and how to do all the things. And it was all information. And they got some practice, right? But the other group just did stuff for all the weeks, like did stuff, did it, kept taking photos, kept getting better. By the end of that group of weeks, the group that just did stuff were far better than the ones that new information on stuff, but didn't do enough of the stuff. Guitar is the same, and I think this has been proven across pottery classes as well. So the second area is, once you've found out what to focus on, is what you are going to do. So this involves time, it involves energy, it involves effort. Okay, and you need, this one here is a little caveat, focused effort. It needs to be focused. If you have a player who throws 2 hours at something, but really, like, they're doing bits of this, bits of that, but they're on YouTube looking at different bits, that is not as effective as a player who does 20 minutes every day and they keep chipping away at the same little part they're playing. Like, I often use the example of the statue of David. Like, it's a marble masterpiece. And to think that Michelangelo, not the turtle, but the other guy, like, chipped away at it just a bit at a time, like. So, time, energy, and effort. 2 hours is not as good as, let's say, 1 hour focused. So now, you're focused on the area to improve, you've defined your practice, and you set the time. Now, with the time, you want to be consistent. So you want to actually define how many days per week, a minimum amount of minutes, and when you're going to do them. Check this out. 2 players. One player looks and they go, oh yeah, I found my area of focus is actually strumming and rhythm. That's what I need to focus on, because I want to play those fast songs. And then somebody says, cool, when are you going to practice? And they say, I must get back to you now next week. They're not going to do it. It won't happen. Or at least if it happens, it'll be by accident, or they'll do one little bit. Versus a player that does this, right? They look and they do their strumming, they get their assessment result and they go, oh, it's strumming. That's what I need to work on. And then they suddenly go, okay, it's going to take a lot of effort. I'm actually going to practice a minimum of 30 minutes, 5 days per week. And somebody goes, that's great. When are you going to do it? Well, actually, I have a pencil in the calendar. I've put in my Google Calendar, and I've talked to my partner that's what I do for that 30-minute window every morning, so not to be disturbed. And I might do a bit in the evening, but at least I know my bit done in the daytime. See what I mean? Like, it's concrete. You know, like, which one could you almost picture happening? That one, because there's times and there's energy and effort put into it. And here's the thing then. There's a saying, is it a rising tide lifts all boats? Something like that. When you learn the skill of focusing on the right stuff with the right amount of energy, putting the right amount of time into it, you begin to go from here out to here. But do you ever notice, like, those really great guitar players, they seem to be good at lots of stuff on guitar? It's because the ability you build, you will then look at the next area and you'll carry that confidence into the next area. You'll go, well, if I've gotten it with strumming, I've gotten so much better at strumming. I know I'll do the same with bar chords. And you go on the same journey. That's it. That's the game of guitar. That's like, but you've got to know what you're doing. And the major problem nowadays, and I say this fully appreciating that you may have found this video through YouTube's discovery algorithm, that this was put in front of you, or you've found it someplace else and you've stuck on the video this long, and thank you. There's benefits to watching this, and there's also drawbacks to YouTube, because when you open up YouTube, the algorithm knows who you are and it knows to show you videos on certain things, and that kind of draws your attention away. And a lot of YouTube videos are made as entertainment masked as education. Like, think about all those videos you might have watched on YouTube that make you feel good, made you laugh, but did they really improve your playing? I bet a good lot of them didn't, the more laughy ones, you know? And you want the mix. Oh, let's have fun. Guitar's fun. We also want to have that paradox of getting serious and focused so we can have more fun. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to take the assessment. You'll find it below. And if you want to find out more about the schoolofguitar.com, where I break down practice, I break down playing, I analyze your playing, and we actually have great fun in the group, just check out the link below. Thanks for watching.